Okay, here we are. I have all the parts printed in PETG, and then down the road I'll print them in ABS in the enclosure. PETG is just not going to cut it for the temperatures I want to get to. So as part of the having a hot environment, we're going to bring our air down from the top, and we're going to make a piece of hose that ties into this. And you can get a look at this on the bottom. This is the first design of this, and it was printed out of PLA. So it looks pretty close. We're going to do some smoke testing with it and see where that air is actually blowing. Everything else is good and ready to go. Here's our homemade. Yeah, no, this don't focus so great. Here's our homemade cooling plates. Bought 4 of these little copper plates for $10, and then this is copper he had here at the shop. It's actually a little copper. Just heat epoxied on. This part hasn't really changed. I don't have it piped up all the way, but that's just another look at it. Here's the top. I don't have the access. This is just to get the cap off if you got to fill it. It was the easier way to do it, and I'm going to make a little plastic cap for it. And then here is the fan holder that holds the fan. And that's going to mount right here. And the wire will be underneath. Here's our 3 vents. We have 3 on each side that open up. And that's a one-piece print right there at a PETG. Just split it with a razor blade when we're done. And they work really well. And on the inside, you see it's a nut, a threaded nut that holds down on the insulation. So there's 4 of those. And then I decided I was going to cut this out, but I'm just going to go ahead and, these are pretty strong once I tighten them down. I got one tightened down somewhere. That holds down on the 2020, and it puts a little bit of compression on the rubber foot on the printer. But rather than cut this out, we'll just leave this in here. I may trim it, or I spray glue it down, and then we'll tape the edges with some foil tape, make it pretty. This hasn't changed much other than, for some reason I keep screwing this grommet up. It's the simple things. But I got a printed screw grommet. Actually, I think it's done laying around here somewhere. We're going to keep this board after debate. It's E3 turbo. Good board. A little limited, but good. And I don't believe there's going to be much in here. So, of course, our screen's on the top. Enclosure temperature. This is a very smart controller. 5.0 SKR screen, and then the compartment in there to get to it, and then this plate's actually going to have just hooks in the top right here. And I'm going to redo the fan vents because I think they're ugly. So if you look, a fan plugs in similar style to some of our other cases. And plug that in. I thought about putting a USB somewhere. I'm going to have the USB for the screen sticking out so you can plug because right now I can't get to it. It's behind here, but I can plug into it. So probably in this part, I didn't really want it sticking out the side, but I think that's what I'm going to do. But that'll be right there. And the USB stick will stick in, and different style fan vent, like a round hole in the middle or just some arms. And it doesn't look right since you can't really do the bottom. So it just kind of makes it look awkward to me. Of course, we have a real pretty door for this, and also we have the LED light. So I'm not so sure about that considering the temperatures I want. I should have done a cool tube like on the other cabinet where it has it's inside of a piece of pipe with a piece of plexiglass over a spot, and it blows air through it all the time. We'll probably have to put one of those in, but they're actually very easy to put in, even after the fact, and I already have the brackets made. Here's our connections for our water. 2 lines that go back down behind the printer to do the Z and the Y. And then there's a couple of hoses that come off the top. And we got 2 temperature sensors that will go up through. So now I am going to make this a Windows printer. So I got a little Windows computer right here. And the reason why I want to do that mostly is I kind of wanted to do it, but now I really want to do it because I have this Corsair IQ Commander Pro for controlling the fans and the water pumps, and then be able to bring them up into an interface. So mostly I want to be able to access this with a remote desktop, but I've also thought about putting a little 10-inch screen up here that just sticks up. But I'm going to build a box for the power supply, a regular computer power supply, either possibly the board in the box, or it'll just mount in its existing case on top, and the Commander Pro up here too. So, and here's the power supply. It's a Cool Master, actually one of the world's worst power supplies, but by the time you figure out all the powers I needed, 5s and 12s, and I need a lot of 5s, especially if I want to use a computer. I need like 7 amps of 5, so needing 12 and 7 amps of 5, I think we have this laying around. We'll just go ahead and use this. I think we kind of have to, unless we want to get, I have some other power supplies around here, and I know that this one's a pig and it's not going to be very efficient on top of everything else going on. I still think that's what we're going to use. But all right, guys, subscribe. How do I have a video with like close to 40,000 views, but I have like 300 subscribers? We need to get to 1,000, and we'll use some of the video equipment here and some of the computer equipment for making 4K videos, and we'll do a little better. So, all right, stay tuned. I'm going to strip this whole thing down and do in-depth videos assembling it. So it should be pretty cool. All right, good luck.